to be in the present moment, to enjoy the weather that you're in, some gratitude, anything that will work for you. Today I'm going to focus on gratitude and the energy of the air because I am outside and I'm getting blown away out here. So I will be focusing on prana and making sure that I can create space in the chest and in the heart and throughout the body to be more flexible and more accessible in my asana practice. So I invite you to create your intention, and we're going to start in a seated pose, whatever works best for you. I decided to work on a block so I can work on opening up the hips. You can sit cross-legged, lotus pose, however you like, whatever's comfortable for you. And go ahead and we're going to withdraw the senses here so we can try to really focus on the breath. Go ahead and roll the shoulders up and back, resetting them. And sit rooted into the earth, crown to the sky, almost as if a string is pulling you up, straightening out the spine. And we're going to take a couple inhales for 3. We're going to hold for 2. And we're going to exhale for 3 and hold for 2. And we're going to keep that pattern going for a second just to get some air into the body. Go ahead and inhale for 3. Hold for 2. Exhale for 3. In through the nose for 3. Hold for 2. Creating space. Exhale for 3. Hold for 2. Create space for 3. Hold for 2. And exhale for 3. Now that we've got some energy flowing through our bodies, I'm going to meet you in a tabletop position on all fours. We're going to make sure the shoulders are stacked underneath the wrists. The hips are stacked right above the knees. So we're in like a table position where you could almost set a glass and not let it fall off. And we're going to start with some cat-cows. On the inhale, we're going to lift the tailbone, open the heart, gaze forward. And on the exhale, we're going to round the spine, tuck the tailbone, look towards the navel, into a cat. Inhale, open the heart, lift the tailbone, expand the heart, feel the spine, and on the exhale, go ahead and tuck. We're going to go through a couple more rounds of this on your own breath. Now, if you're having any issues in your mid-back, you're having any anxiety, you can actually switch up the breath and get a different sensation if that's good for your practice. All right, we're going to meet back in a neutral spine tabletop. We're going to take the right hand and extend it out, the left foot and extend it out. We're going to take a nice inhale, and we're going to reach and expand the fascia here. And this is the connecting tissue throughout the muscles. Go ahead and take a nice inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to bring the elbow and the knee together, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. We're going to drop the right hand to the ground, set the left heel back, and get a nice stretch in the calf. Gonna lift the back foot, drop it over to the right, look over our right shoulder, and get a nice stretch on the right side and the left side. Bring it back to the table. And do that on the other side. We're going to lift the right hand forward, left foot back, get a nice stretch from the toes all the way to the fingertips. Be a superhero and shoot that lightning out your hands. And go ahead and on the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Now your movements here can be organic. Almost like a dancer if you want. Gonna meet back. We're gonna drop that right foot. Stretch out the calf. Get a nice inhale here. Exhale. Go ahead and lift the right foot. Bring it over to the left. Look over the left shoulder. Get a nice stretch in the back, in the right side. Inhale and exhale. Let's meet back in tabletop. Square the hips, square the shoulders, tuck the toes. We're gonna lift off the ground about an inch just to get some power here. Really push through the hands, push through the toes. Get that nice broadened back. Set it down. Look about 6 inches in front of the mat. Go ahead and lift the tailbone, lift the heels, push through the hands into downward facing dog. We're gonna take a couple of deep breaths here. And it's okay if your feet are not, or your heels are not touching the ground. You can either be in turbo dog, puppy pose if that works for you, or a downward facing dog with bent knees. Now to work with the heels getting down, go ahead and bend the right knee, lengthen the left, and switch. This is what we call walking our dog. Let's take a couple more deep breaths here in downward facing dog. Go ahead and shake your head yes and no. Take any weight off that head. Most of the weight should be in your heels. Just pushing through the hands, relax shoulders. And when you're ready, go ahead and walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat into a forward fold. On the inhale, we're going to rise into mountain, hands at heart center. Let's do that again. And for salutation, inhale, arms up. Look to the sky, reach through the fingers, root through the toes. Take a nice gentle back bend if that's in your practice and feels good, making sure to not compress the back. And forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now I'm going to come back to the mat. And we're going to go back into a plank position. So go ahead and take the right foot back and the left foot back into a plank. Your choice of a chaturanga or meet me in downward facing dog. If you're going to chaturanga, exhale, down, elbows in. Inhale to up dog or cobra. And on your exhale, meet in downward facing dog. And on the inhale, let's bring the right foot up for three-legged dog. And look ahead of the mat. Let's take that foot, bring it right and square between the hands into runner's lunge. We have a couple options here. You can drop the leg or you can keep it up. Make sure the hips are square, knee is at a 90 degree above the ankle. Going to bring our hands to our thighs. Shoulders are back, chest is forward, into a half crescent. Now again, you can be on your knees if that works best for you. And on the inhale, go ahead and bring the hands up to the sky for a full crescent lunge. And on the exhale, hands back down. And we're going to come back into plank and chaturanga if it's in your practice, or meet in downward facing dog. Now on the inhale, we're going to take the left foot, bring it back up, and sweep it through, hands, into runner's lunge. Same modifications on this side. You can either drop the leg, keep it forward. You want to try to be symmetrical if you can. Bring the hands to the thigh, into half crescent, and then if you'd like, go ahead and float the arms up to the sky for half crescent lunge. Nice couple breaths here. And arms back down into plank position, chaturanga, or meet in downward facing dog. This time I'm just going to skip that portion and come back into downward facing dog. Take a couple deep breaths here. And then we're actually going to walk our hands back so we're at the back of the mat. I'm going to move this out so I can see. Now we're going to take a step with our left foot and keep the toes straight forward. Nice inhale, and on the exhale, go ahead and hinge at the hips into a wide forward fold. Bend at the knees if you have hyperextension, or if you want to protect the hamstrings, and go ahead and fold forward. Go ahead and take the left hand, cement it into the ground. I'm gonna go ahead and switch positions so you can see me better. Left hand cemented in the ground. Turn it towards the right. And on your inhale, pretend like you're taking like a bow and arrow here. So on your inhale, up, twist, and open up that heart. Get a nice deep stretch there. Inhale and exhale, feeling that chest cavity, feeling the back, reaching the hands towards the sky. And exhale, bring it back and switch. Right hand down, face forward. And on the inhale, extend the left hand up, pointing towards the sky, getting a nice twist and extension. Inhale, exhale. Let's go ahead and bring it back. From this position, we're going to step up. Going to take the right foot, turn it forward, the back foot, 45 degrees, knee over the ankle, square the hips, shorten the stance if needed, into a warrior one. Really feel the stretch in the back and in the front. We should have an equal distribution of weight here. On the inhale, extend through the arms, drop the shoulders. And on the exhale, warrior two. Make sure those shoulders are dropped if that's in your practice. Want to really make sure we're extending through the arms. We don't want the front knee to be over the ankle. We want to protect the knee. And we want to make sure that there's not an inward rotation. Make sure it's more of an outward. So gaze over the right and the left. And take a nice inhale. And on the exhale, straighten the front knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Go ahead and take the right arm, rest it on the thigh. Take a nice inhale and go ahead and swipe the hands over the head. So the bicep is touching here for extended side angle. really stretching through the toes all the way up through the fingertips to make sure we're getting a deep stretch in the fascia. And go ahead and cartwheel those hands down. Come into high plank. Chaturanga if you'd like, or meet in downward facing dog. Again, we're going to walk the hands back. And this time we are going to switch sides. So I'm still going to be facing forward. We're going to take the left foot, point it out to the back. Right foot comes at a 45-degree angle. Square the hips forward into a warrior one. Drop the shoulders. Inhale. And on the exhale, come out into a warrior two. Look at all you warriors. Go ahead and check your alignment here. And on the inhale, lengthen the knee for a pumping warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, exhale, and go ahead and flow this if you want, whatever feels best for you. You know, maybe it is staying in warrior two. Maybe it's straightening the leg and taking a break. Maybe it's dancing it up. But just make sure that this knee does not, again, come over the ankle. And if you do have that issue, go ahead and just step it out a little bit and get more of a stretch here. And we're going to take the left arm, put it on the thigh. On the inhale, come into extended side angle. Now, if you keep the arm up, you can still get this stretch and open up the heart and chest. The only thing is you'll get a little bit of blockage in the fascia because you have energy coming up the back leg and then stopping at the arm. If we extend it, then we're getting a nice stretch from the fingers all the way to the toes and vice versa. And if you would like any more options, you can either take a block, set it down if that works for you, come down, shoulder in, right arm back, float the arm into a bind. Those are just a couple options for your practice. Again, you can open up the chest, going to unwind, come back into angle, and exalt the warrior. And since we didn't exalt on the other side, let's go ahead and switch. Boom, boom. Warrior two, and exalt the pose. You live and you learn, right? And let's come back. Frame the foot. Step back. Chaturanga, or meet in downward facing dog. And we're gonna do one more opening here. So we're gonna walk, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, back bend if it's in your practice. Inhale. On the exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And on the exhale, go ahead and rest. And let's come back in to a tabletop. Take a breather here and come back onto our backs. Gonna lower down one vertebrae at a time. Just get a couple quick stretches here. Arms out to a T. Bring the legs into a tabletop position. Go ahead and inhale, and on the exhale, drop them to the left. Get a nice twist in the low back. If need be, go ahead and take the left arm, put it on top of the knee to draw it closer to the earth, and try to keep the right shoulder on the ground. And if it's in your practice, go ahead and look over the right shoulder for a full extension. Inhale, legs back up. Opposite side. Same modifications needed here. And if your legs do not go all the way down, that's also perfectly okay. They can just stay up. Anything that feels good for you. Let's go ahead and bring that back. Extend the legs out. And let's go into a happy baby. Take the arms into the insides of the soles of the feet. And whatever feels good to you, maybe it's a exhale and bring the knees towards the armpits. Maybe it's a full extension of the legs to get a nice stretch in the hip flexor and in the hamstrings. And maybe you even rock. And let's bring these back into legs up the wall. This is a good way to get the circulation back into the leg, or through the legs, into the hips, into the body. Go ahead and flex those toes if you can. A couple inhales and exhales here. Very beautiful. Now let's lower down into our final Shavasana. Whether you lay how you are, you tuck the shoulders, palms to the sky, whatever's comfortable for you, that's all that really matters in this. It's about total relaxation. One of the ways we can do this is we can take the bottom portion of the body, and on an inhale, we can flex the feet, the lower body, the thighs, and on the exhale, let it relax. On the inhale, we can do the same with the upper body. We can flex the arms, flex the fingers, flex the face. Exhale, relax. And on full body, on the inhale, tighten the muscles, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, melt into the earth. This is your time to rest and reset, much like a computer. It's a bunch of information, and then we restore it into its memory, just like we're going to into the body. Our practice today will carry us into many aspects of life, and rest is a huge part of that. I invite you to pretend that your body is this still pond. Your forehead, your stomach, your legs are all part of a pond with no ripples whatsoever. Just take a nice couple inhales and just feel the body moving back and forth without creating too much chaos. No effort is needed. And now, if you'd like, pretend, or have you pretend that from the sky falls this beautiful raindrop and lands right center in the middle of your forehead, creating a circular tsunami that spreads across the forehead, over the crown, down the face, down the chest, opening up the heart, all throughout the body like a huge tidal wave, relaxing every cell in the body. If it works for you, let it downpour. Feel your body dance, relax. Let thoughts come to them and just accept them for what they are, and send it back up for a raindrop. Begin to wiggle your hands and your toes. Wiggle your body. Go ahead and move yourself over to the right side into a fetal position. Resting here, letting the blood go back into the body. And go ahead and rise up. I'm gonna face you. I'm kind of new at recording myself, so I gotta get used to directional changes here, but that's all part of learning, right? Meet in a comfortable position. Let's go ahead and take a nice inhale. Arms float to the sky. Reach to those fingers. Hands to heart center. Take a moment for gratitude for the energy that was created through this class. Let's take our thumbs to the middle of our eyebrows. Set an intention of, possible energy or positive energy towards each other and our bodies and everything we were able to accomplish today. I thank you so much for this practice. Namaste.